I begin by giving the floor to His Excellency, Mr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, Secretary General, Your Excellencies, members of Council. Mr. President, I would like to commence by appreciating your vision in convening this timely and crucial meeting. It underpins the long-standing commitment of the United States to the high aims of international peace and security. Our appreciation also goes to the Secretary General, Ban Ki-moon, for the clarity and depth of his briefing. Mr. President, the people of Nigeria, and indeed the entire peace-loving world, were horrified at the gruesome murder of 2 American journalists and a British aid worker by elements linked to the Islamic State. And of course, only today, you mentioned about the incident where a French citizen was killed. These murders typify the new phase of global terrorism marked by executions, extreme brutality, and impunity. Unfortunately, IS is not alone in this despicable campaign against humanity. Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb, Al-Shabaab in Somalia, and Boko Haram in Nigeria share this common agenda to unleash terror, mayhem, destruction, and instability around the world. Boko Haram has perpetrated more heinous, barbaric acts than any other known terrorist group. There is no doubt that foreign fighters have added a troubling dimension to this emerging phase of terrorism. From targeted attacks by Al-Qaeda a few years ago, we now have mobile bands of thousands of terrorists sweeping across vast areas, destroying lives, and even attempting to hold territory. This is unacceptable. We must act now. Mr. President, Nigeria knows too well the destructive effects of terrorist activities. Over the past 5 years, we have been and are still confronting threats posed by Boko Haram to peace and stability, predominantly in the northeastern part of our country. The costs are high. Thousands of innocent people have been killed, whole communities razed, and hundreds of persons kidnapped, the most prominent being the mindless kidnap of innocent daughters from Chibok Secondary School in Borno State, northeast Nigeria. Mr. President, as daunting as the challenge may be, we have faced it with unrelenting determination, mobilizing all the resources at our disposal to ensure that the scourge of terrorism is rooted out of our nation. In addition to our counter-terrorism efforts, we have evolved initiatives to alleviate the plight of the population in the affected communities. These include a holistic effort through the Presidential Initiative for the Northeast, which is aimed at providing immediate relief and fast-tracking the infrastructural redevelopment of the region. It also has as a core goal an integrated effort at achieving the de-radicalization of potential terrorist recruits. In partnership with the private sector, we have also launched a victim support fund, which has already raised about $500 million in cash and pledges out of the expected minimum of $1 billion in direct support of the victims of acts of terrorism. This is in addition to the Safe School initiative championed by Mr. Gordon Brown, former British Prime Minister and currently the UN Special Envoy on Global Education. This initiative is being rigorously supported by Nigeria's federal government. Let me thank President Obama and the United States government for the Security Governance Initiative following the US-Africa Summit last August. I believe if expeditiously implemented, the initiative will enhance security on the continent. Mr. President, Your Excellencies, we must now capitalize on the commitment and evident determination of the Security Council to seek more innovative responses to the threat of terrorism, and in particular to the growing menace of foreign fighters. The Council should be concerned about the existence of sources of arming and funding terrorism. Evidence has shown that Boko Haram, for instance, is resourced largely from outside our country. We must also commit to ensuring that countries which are in the front line of this challenge receive adequate support from the international community. The resolution that we have adopted here today is a critical first step in mobilizing international action. Only by united action and firm resolve can we check this raging threat to humanity and also build the enduring structures that will resist their re-emergence. I thank you.
I want to thank His Excellency President Jonathan for his statement.